as you experience growth, the people in your business are raving fans for you, and they work as best they can to help you accomplish your vision.
Exactly.
I'd like to definitely welcome my co-host right now, Mr. Anthony Vaughn of Creation International. If you could, please introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about you.
Great. Yeah. So really quickly, 24 years old, own a company called Creation International. Pretty much what I do is I work with startup companies and I help them cultivate a culture first and foremost, which we're going to be talking about today, kind of help them get the company off the ground. I also do a lot of work with network marketing teams and do the exact same thing, develop leaders and cultivate a culture within their organization as well. And then finally working with organizations and coming in there and having a real impact on their culture shift and changing them from within organically as far as personal development and just making sure that they understand the importance of their organization and how to, fit their way into success. So.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, Jackie. How are you?
Yeah, the wonderful Jackie Bernardi is in the building. All right. It's Jackie. It's always so good to see you. And we have you and DeWanda. What we're talking about, well, Anthony just did his introduction. I guess everybody wants to know who's the guy with all the salt and pepper going on. I will introduce myself. I am Gerald Dubose. I am COO of the New Wealth Order. We do personal development and financial literacy, where we help businesses build their businesses from average to exceptional. So what we do, we help them with their marketing systems and their business plans and structures. So that is what we're going to be talking about tonight, though, is the opportunity to build a winning culture in your business. How to build your business from within so that you can make sure that you win in the end. Okay, so we're just going to talk a little bit, and then I'm definitely going to have to get my Miss Jackie or DeWanda up here. DeWanda, are you open to coming up talking a little later as well?
Hope so. We'll see.
And my man Adam just got in the building. That is a great guy. Somebody tell a little bird, let everybody know that we're in here. We're going to be talking about business, some real business this time. And we are going to help people as much as we can with growing that business. Yes, so the first thing in creating a winning culture, I believe, the main thing that you want to do when you are trying to create a culture for your business that is of a winning fashion, you definitely want to have trainings regularly train your people so that they can understand and implement your systems better and more often. And a lot of businesses come into business and they are, sole proprietors. The new catchy word that people use now is solopreneurs. And they are everything in their business. They're the cook, they're the maintenance man, they're the tech guy, they're doing everything. And then as they grow their business, they continue to handle it as if they are that still just solopreneurs, still like it's only them. Now, the thing is that in order to win, yes, you have to set them up for success, Jackie. Exactly. In order for them to win, they have to understand that when you go through growth or as you prepare for growth, even before growth, you must prepare. And part of that is training your people so that they have the information, access to the information, and that you make them feel like they're a part of versus being taught to.
Yeah.
So I will let Anthony speak to that a little bit, and then we'll come back and I'll say a little something else.
Well, I just got 2 quick tips, man. And I think one of the tips is having a growth mindset as far as the owner of the company, making sure that day in, day out, whether it's every week, every month, whatever it's going to be, that you're going out and finding the best tools, the best tactics, and actually bringing it to your company. You were just talking about how a lot of solopreneurs are starting companies that are doing everything. There's no way you can do everything and find the best content, find the best information, and actually apply it at the same time. So, really taking a step back and really kind of managing your organization, going out and finding the best information that is out there and that's available and bringing it back. And then the second tip would be personalizing it and allowing your people and your staff to actually experience that content. A lot of people are giving these big packets or whatever the information is going to be and just hoping and praying that their staff is understanding it, but actually walking them through the process and actually allowing them to understand it and experience it, I think it's really key for that company, and like again, personalizing it as well, because the way that you learn is not going to be the way that one of your staff members is learning, and you have to understand exactly how each one of your staff learns and making sure that you're personalizing it so that you can get the most out of that staff.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And I would also like to add on the fact of having different types of programs for your people.
Yeah.
Because that sets them up for growth and success. So, I mean, I believe that, I know in my company, we always have sales meetings every Tuesday, every Friday. Yep. I meet my sales guys Tuesdays and Fridays religiously because we work 6 days a week. So the one in the middle of the week takes care of the last 3 days over the weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The one early in the week, the one at the end of the week takes care of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that way we are able to hold each other accountable and be able to implement and help them further and further along. So we give them new sales training tools every week. We go over new objections, what happened on your appointments. We give them personal development classes so that they can grow their mindset and be able to, one, have the confidence when they're out in the field to deal with the challenges that come along with sales, because we are all salespeople, whether we want to accept it or not. We sell for a living. So we deal with them with the personal development side. We give them leadership courses because I don't want just people that are just followers. We need people that can lead people out there in the field, and I can't be everywhere. So if my people can be a reflection of the things that I see and the way that I am, they better represent me, and it also enhances their lives and helps them to achieve more sales all at the same time. Well, hey, Miss Dia. Miss Dia is in the building. Look at that. All my people are coming in. This is a great evening. All right, we're going to have a great night.
I just want to
go ahead. You can piggyback off of that.
I was going to add real quick to that, and just making sure that again, they're studying that content that you're giving them, and that was something that you do with your company. Personal development classes. Week by week, making sure that they're actually understanding all the content that you're giving them. I think is incredibly impactful because we all know 30, 60, 90 days, 120 days. It takes to ritualize something and allow it to work in your subconscious and unconscious mind, and so that they actually can be effective, right?
Absolutely.
And that's key. I know a lot of companies, I've been a part of some with their sales teams, and they'll kind of just give you a day or two worth of training, even 3-4 days worth of training, and expect you to actually understand it. And I think as an owner, making sure that you're taking your staff under your wing, and I don't want to say forcing, but making sure and holding them accountable and making sure that, 30, 60, 90, 120 days are actually utilizing all this information and allowing it to become part of the subconscious mind is really important.
Yes, absolutely. It's vital to the culture that you hold them accountable, because I have very high standards for my people. And there is my Jackie. I've been waiting to see her all day. She couldn't get in earlier on our earlier blab.
Oh my God, that was such a nightmare. I was having the night that you had the other night, right? Except that I was supposed to be co-hosting the thing today. Oh my gosh. But do you know she's still on that blab? So
I saw that. I can't do 6 and 7, 8 hour blabs.
No,
that's not in me, especially about business. I want to get in and I want to help people as much as possible.
That's exactly right. And so I wanted to jump in because I think what you're hitting on here is so important. And I think it frequently gets overthought. And what I mean by that is I think in our country, more likely than not, an organization is not a culture, set up with a culture of confidence. And in fact, I think it's really more a culture of competition, which there can be a fair degree of that even in confidence cultured organizations. There's nothing really wrong with competition unless it's competition to break them down. And so I think the point that I'm trying to make here is that there's very, very small things that we can do as leaders in our organizations to shift the tide from a competitive culture to a culture of confidence. And I mean, really small things. It's how you look at somebody when they suggest an idea that maybe is not the right idea, right? Because that look you give back to them is going to speak way louder than any word that came out. So if you just go like, right?
Exactly.
That person is now damaged, and that there's not damaged, that's a big word, but there's an element of confidence that has been chipped away, and you chip away enough. It's just like your kids. It's just like your pets. It's just like anybody, you chip away at it. And the end result is they're not on board. They're not part of the team. Resentment builds and so on. So I'd like to see a movement towards, honestly, people just being nicer, because being nice to someone actually, again, creates that opportunity for success. It sets you up for more success, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. And when you said the fact of kind of almost demoralizing people for having a point, that is one of the problems that we have in a lot of the corporate world, is that people want you to shut up and just do what they say. Yeah. And if you're trying to build a culture, a winning culture, you cannot shun people's opinion, because if you're trying to build a winning culture, their opinion matters.
Yep. And
that's what makes them stay. I've been blessed, over these 13 years that I've been building my businesses, that I've had a 97% retention ratio in my company.
Wow.
I've only had 3% of my people leave, and no one has ever left me to go work another job. They started their own businesses. So Everybody that has left to start and live their own dream. And that I feel I can take partial credit for, because I am giving them that empowerment. I am giving them that voice. I am allowing them the space to use their creativity and give them tools on a consistent basis, and then reinforce the material and make sure that it's utilized and implemented in their lives and in our company as well. So
that's brilliant. And your numbers speak to that, truthfully. 97% retention rate is, I don't know who has that. Nobody has that. That's brilliant. Great, Gerald. That's inspiring, actually, because I know you've got a lot of different businesses. I know you've got so much going on, and I would imagine that each division of your business has a completely different culture, right? So you probably have to be really nimble to be able to participate in all of that, right?
Absolutely. And everybody there, we have different levels to everything, but we're going to go. This is really going to be a really fun discussion, because we're just tipping the iceberg, Jackie. And I know Anthony wants to touch on something else. I saw him ready to jump in there. So go ahead, talk about that.
That was a really quick tip. I always love to learn from both of you guys. I know with one of the companies that I'm helping get off the ground right now, a company called Legendary Mind, and we're building a mastermind weekly session with the entire staff. And we're allowing them to get out everything they need to get out of the productive things they think that could happen with their organization. And we're making it a point as the owners to apply at least one of them. Test it, right? Treat it like an experience. And if it doesn't work, then okay. And then they'll actually see that we attempted that. And I think that it'll show that we trust them and we care about them. And it'll have for us that they can trust us and they can care about us as well. So I think that's important, and it'll cultivate a culture of honesty and respect and happiness and then contribution. And when you have all those things in play, you really have some success. So.
That's amazing. So everybody has equal opportunity in those meetings to present ideas?
Yeah.
There's no hierarchy?
Yeah. So every single week, everyone needs to put together and put their heads together and give a way or ask, how can we do this better? How can we get better in these areas? And as the owners, we're going to apply at least one of them. That could be a very small one or it could be a very large one. We have to apply at least one of them. And just from what I've read in my research, it's going to cultivate a culture of honesty and gratitude and contribution, all those great things.
Oh, Anthony, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't come up with it. I'm not going to lie. Obviously we all recycle information, but from the research I got, it's very, very impactful. And I think I know I'm going to utilize it to the best of my ability in my organization.
Absolutely. So that is our first tip. 1, create a culture where you train your people regularly and give them access to information that 1, empowers them, 2, it informs them, and 3, it allows them to handle their jobs in a better fashion so that they can create a culture unto itself. And that really is very important because they have their own little thing. It's really neat when you see them interact and they're happy to show up because they enjoy what they do and they are being rewarded for what they do at a high level. Yeah. So yes, create regular trainings for your people, leadership trainings, allow them to attend conferences, pay for the conference if you can. Now, I'm not saying everybody has the capacity to pay for the conference, but at least allow your people time to be able to train at least 2 or 3 conferences a year, because it's important just for their own self-esteem as well as for your business. Mm-hmm. So
you nailed it there.
Yeah, that's our first tip. The second thing that we would say that helps create a winning culture is relationships.
Yeah.
And relationships, when we're talking about relationships, we're talking about the relationships across the board, from your joint venture partners to your business partners, to your investors, to your staff, all the way down to your subcontractors, depending on what type of business you're in. So your relationships are vital to creating a winning culture because they are the ones that help sustain your growth. So my advice would be, well, I'll let Anthony speak first. I'll let Anthony come. No, no. Okay. All right. I'll just go ahead.
We're heading into it already.
Yeah, exactly. I feel you have to build relationships from a standpoint of not what they can do for you, but how we benefit from one another. And your initial meeting should be that thing, even if someone's applying to work with you. Mm-hmm. See, not work for you. See, listen to the phrasing, because words are important to people. Not work for you, but work with you. See, if they feel as though they're partners, they will work and they will stretch for you, but they're stretching for themselves as well. So exactly. When you're interviewing anybody, whether it's a JV partner, your values need to align. I don't want to work with people that don't have the same type of mindset or aren't on the same type of wavelengths that I'm trying to grow on. If they're doing something I feel is unscrupulous, I don't care how much money they want to throw at it. That's okay. I'll continue my way. So make sure your values align. Make sure that they want some of the same things that you want for the world as well, because that's very important. So that's the initial part of what I'll say, and now I'll turn it over to you guys. Did Anthony freeze? Relationships.
Effect.
Oh, Anthony's gone.
Oh. Whoa, what just happened?
I don't know.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy. You just went like in super speed motion. Like for a second there, it was like, and then it went.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Where did Anthony go?
I don't know. I'm quite sure he's coming back. There he goes. Okay. So
okay.
We'll let you address it because I know he's coming in a second. What do you feel about the importance of relationships in building your culture?
Oh yeah, relationship is actually, I think that relationship is the first step. It's the foundation, really, in culture, because anything that you do stems from relationship. Anything that you don't do stems from relationship, right? So whether it's human relationship, whether it's relationship with your company finances, whether it's, relationship is a huge, huge issue. So how it plays out, like, especially as you were saying, when you're hiring people, right? Red flags are red flags, period. It's not, I don't mean that to sound like a hard ass. I'm just telling you that we all in this room, I think, have enough life experience that when we're feeling something not right during an interview situation or a vetting process or whatever, why continue on? Red flags are red flags for reasons. But I don't want to go down the negative path on this, because really the art of relationship is challenging, right? Because you can feel great about a person, right? And then maybe something happens and maybe you're a little disappointed in what occurred during it or whatever. I guess what I'm trying to say is that relationship is a really elastic concept, right? Yeah. And so it's always having to be manipulated. And that manipulation is the foundation of everything else that's going to happen in your business. So that's my 2 cents on this relationship.
Okay, that's very true, Jackie. Wow, I mean, you're right, and that's actually the way we had set it up. We wrote it out as relationship first, but we're just having a conversation just about all different types of things.
Oh, I'm not saying your hierarchy was wrong. I'm just saying that when I look at culture, right, it does start with relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're 1,000% correct. I can never debate that point.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
In total agreement.
But
Anthony,
a quick tip again, and I think what I've done is I've tried to come up with examples that I'm actually utilizing at the moment. So one of the things that I'm doing right now that I think is impactful is I make, again, a requirement for me and my partner to meet with everybody and to talk about nothing to do with business and just talk about their life or talk about their kids or talk about a problem that they're having. And so many people say it's simplistic and it's kind of cheesy. But again, I think it's, important to build and sustain a relationship when you can actually talk to someone and get to know them for them and their problems that they're going on with their life. Now, a little bit deeper into that is because I want them to have the clearest mind possible when they're working with me. If they're worrying about their kids, or if they're worrying about a problem with their productivity, or if they're worrying about a relationship issue, if I can be that answer to maybe, or be that person to kind of get it out a little bit. I'm not going to sit there and be a psychiatrist for them. Obviously, if it's a serious issue, go and talk to someone else. But if you can get it out a little bit and it can allow your mind to be, a little more free for that day, the productivity for everybody will go up. I'll see that you care about your job for the fact that you're trying to clear your mind. So it'll work out for me. And then it'll feel good for you to get out your thoughts and your mindset about things. And so it'll be more productive for everyone, everyone involved. So.
God, Anthony, I love hearing that. That's amazing that you do that and that you have the capacity to be able to do that, because that's actually taking on a lot of stuff or potentially could be. Right on.
Yeah, it definitely is. But what it does, it creates a freedom that most employees don't feel they have. They are afraid usually to approach upper level management, especially, they'll approach their manager. But if you go beyond their manager, they get a little nervous. But if you have a culture of not necessarily an open door policy, but an open view policy, that if you have an issue, you can openly express it and it won't be shunned and you won't be condemned for having a difference of opinion than what someone else who is considered higher level than you has. You should have a voice. It doesn't mean we're going to do it, but you definitely need to have a voice.
Because anyone watching, maybe you guys may get the wrong idea. I'm not speaking as if I have a staff of 100, obviously, but the few people that I do work with on my company, Creation International, and the other projects I have, and then I've really implemented this with my clients. Now, this is big as well. At least once a week. Whether it's a phone call, whatever it's going to be, I always make sure that we talk about, we shut all conversation down about business. How's your mom doing? How's your girlfriend doing? How's your boyfriend doing? What is going on in your life? Who are you, right? Like, what's really happening with you right now? And a few of them in the beginning kind of like, wow, you really care? Well, yeah, I care. I want to know about what's going on with you, because I know for me, if I can, get their mind to kind of, go away from whatever distractions that they have in their life, that they'll be that much more productive in the session. They'll listen, they'll take it in more and actually apply what I'm asking them to do and apply. And then the same thing for me, they'll trust me more and we'll have a deeper and more connected relationship. So.
Yeah, no matter how we look at it, they're only with us for 8 or 9 hours a day. Right? There's a whole rest of the day that they have life going on. And really when they're at work, they're kind of insulated, from all that. So very important. You two are like rock stars. Yeah. Complete rock stars. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Have either of you read the book, The Culture Engine by Chris S. Edmonds?
No.
He's a very good friend of mine. He's out of Denver, Colorado. And the book came out about a year ago now. And he literally travels the country and works with companies to lead with culture, actually, to make culture as important as one of their business priorities as anything else. So I don't know if you had read it or not, but it's a good read. He's a good guy. You should hook up with him at the very least on Twitter, because he'd give you, he's just truly a dear, dear man. And he's somebody I met via Twitter years and years and years ago. And we've met in real life 4 or 5 times probably. So.
Awesome. That sounds like something I would definitely want to do. I'm all about it's life is really all about connections. It truly is. How the people you are connected with and how well you connect with them. Hello, Mario. How are you, Mario? Awesome. So your friend, please put the name of the book over here.
I'll grab a link for it and drop it in.
I can't remember it right
engine. And if somebody would like to jump in, let me know. My son just got home, and tonight I probably should actually make him dinner.
Great.
Okay. Probably should, actually. That is awesome. Okay. Well, so just to touch back on the point, because Mario just came in the room, we're talking about creating a winning culture in your business. Our first strategy, the first thing we talked about was in training your people, giving them the proper tools in order to be able to complete the work that needs to happen and to make them feel like they're a part of, not apart from. The second thing we're talking about, obviously, is relationships, how you build your relationships in regards to your JV partners, your investors, your business partners, your employees, all of those people, your subcontractors. Now, see, a lot of people really treat subs bad. I mean, I can talk about that because I'm in the construction industry, and I've seen how people just disregard people that aren't actually part of their staff because they're kind of dismissive of them. And, 80% of the time, your subs do 80% of your work. So you cannot be that way to people that are so important to your success and the implementation of whatever vision it is that you have. So, that's the last thing that I would say is treat everyone like they matter, and they will treat you and your business as though it matters.
Now,
so
I was going to give
a last point on that subject.
This is a little bit, I guess, to do very simple personal development. Making sure that you're holding yourself accountable, knowing that it can benefit the other person. So I'll give you a quick tip. When I used to train, I was very accountable, very much on time, very detailed with my clients. I knew exactly what I was doing, and I knew that it was going to benefit the guy that was feeding me my clients, my personal training venture. And so when he saw that, maybe we didn't have the closest and most intimate relationship, but the fact that he saw that I was holding myself accountable and I was making sure that I was on top of my game, he fed me. He fed so much to me, opposed to the other clients. And just that little simple relationship that we had, as far as he knew he could count on me, he knew he could trust me, right there, that allowed me to really go on and make some pretty good money while I was in that area. So anybody that is, I guess, working for somebody, or like you said, with a subcontractor, anything, just making sure that you're doing what you need to do for you, knowing that, it could potentially affect that person, is really impactful. They'll trust you more for that.
No, I mean, you just nailed it.
You have anything else you want to add to that, Jackie?
So, I hate that I have to leave this, but thank God it's being recorded. Don't stop the recording. Guys, thank you for letting me step in for just a minute to bask in the glow of your greatness.
I won't stop the recording. We are all honored by the light that is Jackie Bernardi.
Bye,
Thank you,
Mari.
and we appreciate you so much.
See you later.
Bye-bye. All right. Mario, would you like to jump in the seat and have a discussion with us? We're getting ready to move on to our next point. And if you would like to sit here with us and
Hey,
have an
sir.
open discussion without
I'm
having to
sorry,
type,
brother. I don't
we
want to.
are more than
I
open to
got
do
one
so.
more. I got to give.
So, yeah.
I got one more I got to give that I think is really important for anybody listening.
Okay, go ahead.
This is let me simplify it for you. So what I've learned, and I've done this, is if you build a relationship building plan, meaning if you figure out within your organization who are the people right here that can impact my life the most, who can help me get to the goal that I want to get to, and not using that as a selfish thing, but really looking to go to them for advice. People respect that. People like to feel that you're choosing them and they respect them. And going to them and saying, hey, how did you get to this position? What did you do to have this amount of respect? And going to them and learning the nuances and the tools from them, I think can be very impactful for your company. Now, this is more geared towards people that are working for an organization opposed to running the organization, right? But I think just for the relationship building purpose, I think it's incredibly impactful. And building a system and a plan around that, I think can really help for somebody to move up and advance in their community.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Exactly.
you have to be humble enough to know that you can't know everything, and that being open and honest about being willing to learn and gain understanding that you don't have, and actually allowing them to be great at that thing, and then allowing them to do that thing
Exactly.
with you, and you all work in conjunction, makes the relationship so much stronger. So I completely agree with that point. Hey, Sean, would you like to jump up here if you want? We're getting ready to move on to our next point, but we have no problem having people come up and talk. You know, it makes the forum a little more fun, which is the thing I love about Blab, which is the only reason why we are doing this thing here. You know, the fact that we get the interaction and it's immediate, it's not later, and we can talk to you guys and we can work through some things and hopefully really give some people some valuable information that they can implement in their business and in their lives, and they'll live a happier, wealthier life because of things like this. So, okay, so the next point that we were talking about in building a winning type of culture, creating a winning type of culture.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to talk about the opportunity for growth and advancement in companies. Everyone, I won't say everyone, a lot of people now have a view that corporate America has this glass ceiling, and a lot of companies actually do. You know, they aren't there really trying to breed, necessarily business owners. They're trying to breed good employees. And what I want in my business and what I strive for with the people that I have that work along with me is to have a business where we empower you enough that if you should ever leave, if you should ever decide that this is not the place for you, that you will find yourself permanently unemployable after you leave us. So that's the type of culture we want to create and have for our people, because they should feel like they can grow here. Advancement opportunities, allowing them to have something to shoot for, something to look forward to. We all want that. We all, nobody wants to be stuck in the same position for 10, 12 years.
Exactly.
If you don't feel like you have an opportunity to grow, you're going to have an opportunity to go. You're going to try to leave. So you have to allow there to be advancement opportunities, tiers and levels for these people to shoot for, and always empower them to have a voice and to give them
and that's amazing.
Tools
just
that
to
allow them
piggyback
to grow
on what
personally.
you're saying right now.
So
again, I'll give you an example of what I just did today. I just hired a research assistant, a lady out of GU, Grand Canyon University, and what she's doing for me is she's just again researching and understanding all the content that I need her to. But I made it very clear, and I told her and I showed her. I said, I'm putting a system in place right now where every 6 months I will test you to see if you are ready to move to the next level in this company. And because she's an entrepreneur major, first and foremost, let me say this, she's an entrepreneur major. So making sure our beliefs about entrepreneurship and owning a company and the type of company that we want to own are on target with each other. So that I knew that. I said, I will make sure that I'm building systems for you and programs for you and tests to make sure that you are getting where you need to be. And I'm expecting you to do that. I'm looking for you to grow. I want you to grow to the point where, like you were just saying, Gerald, either she can own my company or leave my company to go start her own. I want her to be that great, because I know if she's pushing that hard to be that great, it can only be productive for me. And what is she going to think as well? This guy really cares about me. This company really wants to see me win.
Right.
This company really wants to see my family win. And that's when you have that, that trust and that that impactful community that really can do a lot for your company and for your business. So.
A 1,000% correct, Sean. It's a culture where if you can help somebody but don't care about them, they still don't trust you, because
exactly.
I mean, if you don't care about me but you can help me, why would you help me? I can help you, but I don't give a daggone about you. Then you aren't going to push as hard for that person. So it's a cycle. It's a circular type of effect that we're creating here, where we are working holistically on the individuals, giving them that compelling future, giving them the promise of that, hey, look, this company is not holding you anywhere. Your limit is the limit you place on yourself. Now, we want you to grow. We're going to give you tools. We're going to give you training consistently, like you said, and we're going to hold you accountable. Now, just another peek into my company. Every 3 months we do a review. Most people have annual reviews. No, every 3 months we do a review with people on their performance. Look at where they are. Look at what has happened. We look at their skill set. Have they grown? What challenges have arisen for you? What would you like to see that will make your job more comfortable and happier for you? So we do all those type of things because we have that. I want a culture where people know that it matters.
That's it.
That you are not stagnated, because stagnation is death. I don't want to see my people die a slow death. If you're with me, we're going to keep growing, because I know you're here.
Just to piggyback off what you were saying.
So,
for me, if they test to get to that next level, because that's something I'm putting together. Like literally, I was just working on it before we hopped on here. If they test to get to that next level and they don't succeed, let's analyze very clearly of why. And I need them to ask themselves why. Let's figure out all the little nuances, all the little reasons of why you didn't pass that test, and let's work on them right now. Now, most companies, what would they do? If you are not good enough to move to the next level, either you're going to stay right there and your shot is gone. I've seen companies like that. Your shot is gone. You'll have you can try to get this job at the next review, right? Your next annual review, and do no help. No, I'm going to make sure it's my job and my duty to give you the tools necessary, send you to a program, do something for you to make sure that you have all the skills necessary to move up. Whenever you think you're ready, let's try it again. Let's do it again. Let's figure it out how we can get you to the next level.
Right. Absolutely. And the other thing we do is addressing something Mario had even said, because we had talked about this before the show came on, is incentivizing that growth. It is, people like rewards. People like to be acknowledged. People want to feel important. So we make sure that we incentivize during those 3 month periods. Cost of living increase really doesn't help many people. And I try to pay people a living wage from the get-go anyway, because in this area here, and fortunately, Anthony and I are from the same area, so it's not a big difference. But, $10 to $15 an hour is not going to make a living here. You're not going to be able to feed your family. You're not going to be able to pay your bills, feed your family, take care of car insurance, take care of health insurance, be able to send your kids to be able to take care of sending your kids somewhere, vacations, things of that nature. All right, Adam, thank you so much, brother. Man, it's always great to have you, Adam. You are the best, brother. We appreciate you. Don't worry, we'll be doing this again on Monday. So, we're going to be doing this thing at least twice a week, because we want to empower entrepreneurs, empower people that want to have a better life in general. So this Great O'Clock thing is something that I am very committed to, and I know Anthony is the same. So now we'll move on to the next topic. And unless you have something you want to add, then
that's that. I was just making that.
Oh,
comment.
I bet he is. I know he is. I know he is. You know. Absolutely. I bet. So the final thing I would say that we talk about here is obviously the ability to allow your people to contribute. Contribution is so important in fulfilling or in feeling fulfilled in anything, whether it be work, whether it be relationship. If you don't feel like you're adding to something, then you don't feel like it's worth being there. So you have to create a culture where they are allowed the space to be creative and be able to contribute on a level that makes them feel important.
This is another example. I think with mine, it's more of a niche company, and I guess I can explain a little bit deeper. With my research assistants, I made it very clear. If you have a different process, a more productive process that you think will make your job more effective and make it a little bit easier and more effective for you, then please let me know and let's apply it. The same thing with my sales team. I know I was talking to you about that. I'm working on putting that together and how allowing that to be more effective. Same thing with that. If you guys have more of a productive or a more effective way to get it done, please do not hesitate to come to me. And that's something I think companies need to utilize. Companies are in a knowing mindset, right? I know how to do this. I've made 5 million. I've made 100 million. We know what to do. You never know. You just never know. That guy that you hired could give you an answer that could turn you from a $500 million company to a billion, $1 million company to a $10 million company. And just pushing them down mentally and not allowing them to grow and be creative, I think is the worst thing that you can do. So for me, making sure that everybody has a say. And again, I'm slowly thinking about even cultivating some sort of program or plan where I'm allowing them to go out to the marketplace, research, test different things, and come back to me and maybe hold a presentation and say, hey, I think this could be more impactful. Would you mind testing it? And really thinking about if I would mind it. And if I don't, let's apply it. It's just going to show that I trust their opinion more than a lot of other companies out here. So that's my tip.
Absolutely. It should be an opportunity for them to be able to share openly and be able to create and utilize their talents. I feel that a lot of companies, what they try to do is try to, like you said, kind of push you down. Look, this is the level you're on. Stay in your lane, type of thing. When we're all on the highway, you don't own a lane, sir. You own this business. You don't own the lane, though. So you have to allow people that chance, because the idea that a person at the implementation level has, and implementation, I mean, like the lower level, lower tiers, your administrators and things of that nature, they have brains too. And they have some great opinions. Sometimes you can go to them before you can go to your upper level management to get a great idea. So.
No, I was going to say, I think that's great, man. And I think, just to recap everything that we were talking about today, its bottom line is creating a culture that's built off of creativity and innovation, and making sure that it's all about happiness and contribution. And I think from my experience working a lot of the 9-to-5 jobs, working a lot of the regular jobs, so many of these owners and CEOs are so, how can I put this? They're stuck in their ways. They're in a knowing mindset, and they just feel that at the end of the day, there's nothing more that these people can give to me. They're at this level. That's where they're at. They're not at mine. I have nothing to hear from them. And I just think they need to cut that out and really open up to the way the world is going. And just because you don't have a 4.0 from Yale doesn't mean that you're not intelligent. You don't have something to say. Exactly.
Right. Or any value to add.
Exactly.
You are way more valuable than that number that's on your paycheck. So, if we treat people that way, things will be better. Well, I believe we can go ahead and wrap this thing up. We're getting close to that 9 o'clock hour. We did it. We said we wanted to stay at that point, and we are on point, and that is something that's very important too. You need to show up on time and end on time so that people respect your time. So just to recap everything that we went through, you know, our 4 things is, 1, in creating a winning culture, you want to, 1, we'll start with the relationships. Your relationships are vital. You know, the people that work with you are essential in your growth, and you have to treat them like people and allow them opportunities. Number 2 would be training. Train your people, give them tools in order to build the house. You can't build a house if you don't have tools. So you have to give them the tools to build the house if you want the house built. The 3rd thing is advancement opportunities for growth. You know, you want to be able to grow. So you have to create an incentive for your people to grow within your company without them having to leave to go somewhere else for that opportunity. And the 4th and final thing is allow them to contribute. People are more than just a number, more than just a check business owners. They are way more important than that number you are writing on that check. And if we all can remember that, our businesses and this world will be a much, much better place. And is there anything you would like to add and say to the people before we close out? Again, 8 o'clock.
Make sure that you guys are doing the best that you can, to have your staff trust you, to have your partners trust you, anybody that you're with trust you and respect you, and because trust and respect and honesty can go a far way. So I think that's about it.
Absolutely. And the final thing I would say is invest in people, not in the product, not in your own personal gain. Invest in the people so that they will in turn invest their energy and time and heart into you. And if we create companies like that, America will change. So I thank you all for listening in. Everybody that came in and contributed. Jackie Bernardi, thank you so much. We love her so much. Adam, and Sean, and Mario, and all you people that came in and just read and just be part of watching this for a little while. This is a topic that needs to be had, helping people one step into their greatness. So we thank you all for your time and bowing out. I always like to say, we choose what type of life we have by the choices that we make.